Good evening, one and all, and welcome to this webinar series of Evolution Career. This is Richard from Evolution Career Training, Learning, and Development Manager. And today's topic is quite different from the other days and I'm really happy that even ladies are interested today because this includes both the gender, food and nutrition. And food and nutrition is different, and I will be talking along with food and nutrition the myth that among all of us and among mainly youth that they feel that bodybuilders, including both the gender, both the sexes, male and female, with comparison to their professional life. So here I go. First, I just wanted to say one thing, food and nutrition, because food and nutrition அப்படின்னு சொன்னா the way when we say food and nutrition, so food that involves the complete nutritional value which should be intaken by an individual. So first thing to remember here, uh, the reason for losing our nutritional value in food in our day-to-day life, we always say that whatever food we eat is not comparable. It's not comparable to what our forefathers have had during their time, 50 or 100 years before. And people from those eras are really very strong. They were normally very much grown ups and very much highly built persons. So we compare all these things with our forefathers. But one thing we have forgotten, that we are losing our tradition nowadays. We are forgetting our traditional foods. Each and every country, each and every state have their own tradition. Tradition in food. I'm speaking about just in food and nutrition. So this traditional food and the nutrition, they have not incurred by seeing others. Every country, every state have a different traditional in their food and consumption of foods. Ours in Tamil Nadu, our tradition was completely cereal, pulses, and millets. It's completely all uh, that was a complete food of complete package of nutrition once upon a time, and that's our tradition. It's because of the um, what do you call the climatic conditions and the work that our forefathers have been doing for years and centuries. So when you go to Andhra or when you go to northern side, the food tradition differs according to the climates and conditions. And one more thing here, we all have an assumption that in Andhra, people used to consume a lot of spicy food. It's a lot of hot food. I'll tell you one thing: the main dish of Andhra Pradesh or in Telugu state is curd, not chili. It's mainly curd and pulichekire. That's called gongara in their language. So these are the main important traditional dishes of Andhra. In our culture, in Tamil Nadu's culture, when we see, we eat palaya sadam, kali, cool. Kali includes lots of other நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இருக்காது, நிறைய டிஃப்ரெண்டான கலிஸ் இருக்கு, and cool. So these were all the traditional foods at that time, and those who have consumed all these traditional food, mainly they do not incur, or they don't get sick much, or they have never suffered any health issues throughout their life. So there are certain myths among us, and we say that that's a fact, and people are saying like this, people are saying that. I'll tell you one thing: in India, the northeast region, the state called Nagaland, and Kohima, capital of Nagaland, Kohima. That is the only state in India which consumes a lot of spicy chili, because world's hottest pepper, world's hottest chili. ஏன்னா சில்லிக்கும் பெப்பருக்கும் ரெண்டு வித்தியாசம். சில்லி வேற, பெப்பர் வேற. பெப்பர்னா நம்ம not that one what we have at home, the crushed powder. Pepper means it's much hotter. Hotter in a sense, அதிகமான காரம். சாப்பிட்ட உடனே, as soon as you consume that chili, you will start crying. Or else the Naga chili, and it's also called as ghost chili. Ghost. In Hindi, they call it as Bhoot Jolokia. So, why they are the chili is called as ghost is because it's a world's hottest pepper, and even one bite can take you to hospital. So it's really dangerous. And for the people who are living there and who are cultivating and farming all those chilies, they eat at least two chilies a day because they are used to it. And people like us, if we take a bite for the first time, we have to go to the hospital directly. It's that hottest pepper. So, likewise, like we have lots of other various myths uh, among the food and nutrition. This is good for health. We say that is good for health, and nowadays the youths as well as adults, mainly adults as well as the upcoming generation, they are consuming lots of American fried chickens, finger fries, and like kind of what do you call French fries, burger, pizza, and they say that it's an healthy food. No, it's not an healthy food. I have a good friend of mine in Florida who told me um, that uh, even those burgers and those pizzas are not really American food, because when you date back to the American history. Thank you, ma'am. The Melody. Thank you. When you date back to history of America, it was under 13 colonies, and most of them were slaves. And slaves don't eat. They, their traditional food was uh, vegetables with bread with uh, any kind of gravies. That was their traditional food during 100 or 200 years before. And all these things have been modernized nowadays, because this sandwich culture, it came from Australia, and finally they started enhancing everything, and now it's, everything has a different names, and it's all spread across countries, all across. And just one request from all of you, like, I'm not that much good in naming the food or spices in Tamil, so just help me out in between. Just majority of them are ladies, so you can help me out. So what happens is, they themselves, we say that burger வந்து it's an American food, sandwich is an American food, pizza is an American food. No, America has marketed all this food, but these are not from American culture. We have to understand that very clearly. First thing, and apart from that, if we take European cultures, we இங்கிருந்து நம்ம சொல்லிடுவோம். We from here we say uh, these white peoples eat lot of meats. That's one myth there. But one thing, among the whites also there are pure vegetarians. Among these whites also there are pure non-vegetarians who eat only non-veg. And there are some people, there are majority of people who follow the traditional way. So I'll tell you about the traditional cooking. They eat non-veg, but they cook non-veg along with vegetables. The scientific reasons behind that is, for example, we make chicken gravy at our home. We put masalas and we cook a chicken gravy. It's only with chicken, or else we put some a little bit of potato. That's it. But what they do is they put a lot of vegetables, green leaf, all together, and they cook the meat together. Why? Because meat has a protein content, and that protein content, when it is mixed with the green vegetables and vitamins of the green vegetable, it gives you a blended amount of protein and vitamins and nutrients in your food. And they don't cook like us, putting lot of spices, masalas and all. They boil it, they add little bit of spices, that's it. So what they do is like they consume everything, and they also drink the water, so nothing goes waste. In our culture, when we come back to our culture, in Tamil Nadu's culture, ours was completely palesor, porridge, fermented rice, then kali, cool, and all these things were traditional foods. And when you take the content of these traditional foods, it was completely blended of nutrients, cereals, pulses. And when we take non-vegetarians, the majority of the non-vegetarian consumed meat consumption in our country and in our culture was either chicken, natukoli, we say natukoli. Our forefathers have consumed a lot of that, and fish. Fish and farming has a close relationship from the day of barter system. I'll talk. That's a different story. So fish has a lean protein and it's good for everybody. But let's come back to the modern world. What we consume today. What are we teaching our next generation, our children's? That's a big question here. Are we able to teach them to differentiate between highly nutritious food and the food that is not at all good for your health? Are we able to make them eat the nutritious food? I'm just giving you all these insights from my own experience, because I was a sports athlete, and I was there in bodybuilding. I was lastly, like, I was there in boxing. So I have to undergo a transformation of diets when I'm preparing for a match, when I'm preparing for a stage show. So that's the reason, like, how I have overcome all those things. I used to eat a lot of junk foods once, but when at the age of 18 or 19, when I started my bodybuilding, I stopped eating that, and I had to consume a good amount of nutritious food with a lot of proteins, a lot of calcium content food, and highly fibrous content food. Narsat. So at the age of 23, like, I just left bodybuilding, and I at the same time, like, from the age of 18 itself, I was doing bodybuilding as well as practicing the boxing and all. So 23, I started taking boxing seriously. So for that, again, your workout routine changes, your diet pattern also changes for boxing. So comparatively, when you ask me which was difficult, I'll say boxing only, because that really increases your appetite again and again. Every 2 hours or 3 hours, I have to keep eating something, or else my for me, like, my appetite was so high that it digests within 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So I have to keep eating something, or else I cannot survive. So not only me, anybody who's taking the sports very seriously. And still now I am in the sports, but I'm right now not active, and I train students for that, for free of cost, just an advice, and I really feel happy in doing that. And apart from that, இப்போதைக்கு when we all have children at home, so what happens is We see them, they want to go to gym at some time. Even I'm speaking about girls also, girls and boys all together. They want to go to gym, they want to shape their body according to their role models. I'll come back to the dark side of the bodybuilding in the later part. Let me finish with the food and nutrition now. So, but what they do is they keep on admiring, but they don't know how to consume the food, because food is a fuel. It's a it's a fuel for your body. If we don't take a certain amount of good nutritious food in our body, the organs in our body cannot. The the food is the main source of supplying the energy, and if we don't take a right amount of food and proper diet, then you may look like healthy, but suddenly you will fall down. So that causes a nervous problem, that the whole your central nervous system really deteriorates, and your back muscles, your upper shoulder, your mid shoulder, mainly your upper and mid shoulder, சில பேருக்கெல்லாம் கூன் மாதிரி இருக்கும் முதுகு. So at that stage what happens is, and the at that location alone most of the muscles would have been deteriorated by. So that's one reason you're not able to straighten your back. Or someone has a lower back issues, muscles deterioration, bones are losing their strength. So in order to avoid those kind of problems, either you have to start working out, you have to start physical workouts for that particular areas, walk, try to straighten up, try to take some treatment, but at the same time make sure that you have a proper diet of intaking calcium content food and muscular development food, that is protein based food. Don't go for any packaged or what do you call frozen items. Buy a fresh one. And to eat for any muscles deterioration, please eat brinjal and the spinach, kira. Any kind of spinach is fine, because that helps you to recover from muscles deterioration in order to avoid further problems in your body. So now I'll just quickly wind up with bodybuilding and its darkest part. So bodybuilding la வந்து, whenever your children are asking, please know all this truth, so that they don't fall under any false trap. Because in bodybuilding what they do is, men or female, when they join a gym, they will ask them to buy certain amount of chemical powders. They say this is good for you. They will ask them to buy all these things, that way that's costing around 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Finally they say it's a protein powder, it's a creatine powder, it's really good for you, it helps you in recovery and all these things. But youths of nowadays, they don't have a patience. They don't know, when your body pains a lot, you have to bear the pain, and you have to take a good amount of rest in the night time to recover your muscles. Or else you have to massage, give a massage for your body. They don't know all these things, they don't teach anywhere in fitness. They just ask them to buy this product, eat those protein powder, creatine powder. Finally what happens is, they don't even ask them to drink plenty amount of water. When you take all these supplement powders, you have to eat lots, you have to drink lots of water, or else all this will go in your system, digestive system. It will get segregated, finally blood clots, joints la போய் இதெல்லாம் segregate ஆகும். So it really causes a lot of trouble even at that very young age. So know before you sending your children to gym. If they want to go to gym, fine, you go, do your exercise, sweat it out, come back home, eat a healthy food, sleep well at night, finish. No need of buying all those things, because one thing we should remember here, uh, they are if they are not going to compete at professional level, they don't have to buy all these things. If they are going to compete at professional level, yes, they can buy it, no problem, but they should know the pros and cons and all the negative and positive side, and how to overcome all these things in a proper manner. They should have a proper mentor for that. or else don't allow your children, because it's a highly risky sport. It will take away their lives. And next one, bodybuilding is one form of art. And next thing, usage of anabolic steroids in the body. We have seen lot of posters of bodybuilders in near the gym. You might have seen it. Might நீங்க நிறைய பேர் அது இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் காட்டியிருக்க மாட்டீங்க, but you everyone has seen all those pictures, all those cuts, and all those அந்த வயித்துல வந்து 6 pack 8 packs, அந்த cuts, இது எல்லாமே வந்து it is not possible at all when you do a natural, when you try to prepare your body, or when you uh, try to bring your body into a shape in a natural way, that cuts are not possible unless and until if you're hereditary, or else your forefathers would have had all those different muscular uh, rips ripped muscles. So it that ஒரு hereditary வேணா வரலாம், or else um, if you work hard, some of them would get. But when you take bodybuilding as a sports, everyone has it. Have they youths nowadays, like, they don't think at all why everyone has those cuts and every different muscular enhancement. It's all because of steroids. When you take a steroid, you have to eat a certain amount of meal per day, a 7 to 8 meals சாப்பிடணும். You have to drink lot of water. If you don't do any of this, your liver will get spoiled, your kidneys will not function after some time. Finally, for male, the private genital area will be shrinked, and finally they will also go for death. When it comes to a female, what happens is their hormones changes from estrogen to testosterone, or else they also will have a problem in childbirth. So that's the reason, without knowing the fact behind all these things, don't send your children to gym, or don't allow them to take bodybuilding as a career. First, they should know all the ill effects. And good things are, they will be treated as a celebrity, they'll have good amount of money and everything, that's fine. But not to put their health at risk. Not every professional bodybuilders who have been shined today in the world, at international level, they all have gone through certain problems in their body, but they have recovered it because they had a source. நம்ம கிட்ட அந்த source இருக்கா? அது இல்லாம don't send your children to this kind of profession. It's my humble request. Or this does not mean that you should not send them to gym. Send them, no problem. If they trouble you for 5,000 rupees kudunga, 10,000 rupees kudunga, if they keep on troubling you, talk to them very clearly. That's not required. You're not going doing any professional. Do what is natural. Try to shape your body in a natural form. So that's the reason, like, 100 years before, when you see bodybuilders, they would be very shredded. They, they had a muscular body, muscular development, but still they had this shredded look. They had this what do you call, either they were very tall, uh, their hands might be at least 18 to 20 inches, but it's all natural way of creating. They did not had any nerves. நரம்புலாம் அப்படியே வெடிச்சிட்டு நிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்காது நிறைய பேருக்கு, because it's all covered with muscles. But nowadays, you see anybody, their nerves are popping out. They inject a separate injection called nerves popping out. இந்த நரம்பு சுருள்றதுக்குன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு சில injection. Even females do that. Female bodybuilders do that. We have 5 professional Indian bodybuilders in from India who hold license, and among them 3 are male and 2 are females. All of them they use. What happens to female is their voice changes, their natural beauty completely deteriorates, change. உட்காந்துட்டு they have to shave their face like male. They have to shave the whole body, so the whole hormones changes for female. They cannot see their life as a normal human being, but they enjoy their life as a celebrity. That's it. They cannot do. We think that they are really very strong, they are really very what do you call, they are நம்மளை விட அவங்க ரொம்ப strong. We are just a normal human being. But remember one thing, we are all gifted one. You know what, அவங்க they have to, they can cut their weight 30 to 40 pounds in 2 days, just in 2 days. Remember, 40 பவுண்ட் வெயிட்டை 2 நாளில் கட் பண்ண முடியும் அவங்களால. பட் அதனோட வலி என்னன்றது அவங்களுக்கு தான் தெரியும். அதனோட கஷ்டம் என்னன்றது அவங்களுக்கு தான் தெரியும். I'll tell you, they go அந்த next 48 hours they will not take any even a drop of water. They will not eat at all. They will sit in a sauna room. They have to sweat out everything. Whole body will be covered with lots of blankets, plastics, and other cloths to make sure that their body sweat out completely. All the water content in their body is comes out. Even the last salt of their body comes out. And finally, when they cut out all this weight, that's called water cutting, weight cutting. There are certain process which is really very very painful for even for them. Even they cry at that moment, but they have to do because it's a profession. அதனால பண்றாங்க. But our children's or our known person, they don't have to. We don't have to, because we are good. We are normal. We are gifted. We all have a good life that we are carrying on. So I've seen a lot of young people, young boys and girls nowadays, like they are crazy for this bodybuilding without knowing any uh, deep truth in that. They just admire those body, that muscular, the appearance, the looks, and they start doing it. Finally they fall into trap, and finally you see, like from 1960s till 1999, and not 99, at 2004, the death rates of bodybuilders were around the age of 30 to 40. In the range la, they have died a lot. Many have died. It's not because that they were weak. It's not because that they did not had any food to eat. They had every source, they had everything. But still, remember one thing: they are the weakest people on earth. We are all gifted on one way. So don't please keep this all these points in mind before sending your children to gym, or if they keep on talking about this, to take all these things as a profession. So when it comes to food and nutrition again, so keep one thing in mind: not to waste anything, whatever you cook. So how can you preserve that food and make it into another different food? So you can, ladies can be very creative on that. For example, if you're cooking a vegetable, try to make sure that your family eats healthy food, and make sure that the whole family and also you, ma'am, being hale and hearty. So try to have lot many vegetables in your diet. Avoid taking too much of non-vegetarians frequently. So eat lot of vegetables, and try to consume fruits during the evening time and during the afternoon time. Don't consume fruits in the night time, because it's not that good for your body, because the nutrition contents your blood observes during the daytime when there is a sunlight is high compared to in the night time. So it's better that consumption of fruits during the daytime would be preferable. And if you're preparing a juice, it's fine. Don't put all the vegetables to all the fruits together and drink a juice just like that. For example, if it is an orange or lime, you can have a juice, because it all take those fruits which can be consumed in the juice form, not every fruits. And one more thing that we have missed from our traditional food value, and now we have to restore all those things, is consumption of lemon in our daily food. There was a time when our ancestors used to squeeze lime in the food and they eat, but now we don't do it because we say, "As Allah Allah, it's not that good. It's really bad. It's I don't feel like eating." But when we are eating a lot of masalas content in from our gravy, consuming this raw lime really helps you in digestion and further burning sensation in your chest. So so yeah, so that's how this lemon consumption of these lemons are really helpful in our diet, in our daily diet actually, and it really reduces fat and clears all the toxic compound in our blood every day. So that's all that I have to speak for the day. And if you have any questions, please do post it, and I'll be able to answer it. Please post your questions, if any, regarding to health, food, nutrition, and anything that your children have shared regarding this bodybuilding. அம்மா நான் இந்த மாதிரி பண்ண போறேன், அக்கா நான் இந்த மாதிரி பண்ண போறேன். So if you want any suggestions or counseling, if you want to give them that back, you can ask.